Hello, my friend. My name is Amir. I'm talking with you from the SC Center. We are the official KNX training center. Today, I would like to talk about the weather station from Elsner Elektronik that is manufactured in Germany. We will see how many objects we can detect from the wind, the sun traction, GPS, and many other things from the weather stations. Thanks for watching me. Please let me know if you have any questions through the email. I try to provide you the right answer in a short time. Thank you so So now I want to talk about the weather station from Elsner Elektronik. Elsner Elektronik is one of the best manufacturers and the biggest one in weather station sensors among the building management system manufacturers in Europe, and most of the other companies OEM the products from them. You can see it. Another plus of their products is there is no any mechanical part in weather stations, so the maintenance is increasingly low. Today I want to talk about the weather station KNX LWSL. It is used to detect the amount of brightness outside plus the wind velocity. Also, it provides the logic gates and the computation abilities to provide the required output for your projects. In the function part, you can see it detects the brightness, it detects the wind velocity. The weather can be really cold or in a very turbulent air or extremely low with low wind. This sensor can detect the velocity of the winds in a precise way and provide the required switch output according to the parameter setting. It provides 8 and 8 OR logic gates plus 16 inputs. It provides 8 multifunction modules. It's called computer in a parameter. Later I will show you how it works. In the technical data, we can see that the material of the product is plastic white. It is installed in surface mount. The IP environment is 44. It can tolerate the outside air, the very cold and with lots of moisture. It can tolerate it. And if we go and check in IP environment table, we can see for IP number 44, it can tolerate the particle until 1 millimeter. So easily it is tolerates against the ants or slender screws or most of the wires. So it's quite safe to use in outside of the building. The operation temperature is -30 until 50 plus 50 centigrade. So it's quite nice. About the power supply, it should be connected to the KNX power supply. The black and red wire, it's almost only consume 10 milliamp, but it needs extra power supply. So you can use the extra power supply like 24 volts DC output, or you can use at the same time with some KNX power supplies that has an auxiliary output with white and yellow wire. So it's consume 90 milliampere. So be careful about selecting the power supply units for KNX, because if you use the power supply unit that has an auxiliary output and you want to use that part, you should consider this 90 milliamp. It should be programmed in ETS. Of course, it's a smooth one. The communication object number is 303. The measurement range for wind is between 0 to 35 meter per second, and the measurement range for brightness sensor is 0 to 150,000 lux. If you remember, for inside brightness it was 2000, but now for outside is 150,000 lux. In download part, you can download datasheet manual, the recent application software for this. In a datasheet, you can see the minimum requirement for the installation, and you should follow it in your installation. And in manual, if you have any doubt about the parameter setting, the detail of the installation and relevant questions, you should go and check the manual. And if you have any question, you can contact us to provide you the right answer. In ETS parameter, in general setting, we have the control of traffic data. So we can say the transmission delays after reset or bus restoration for measured value, threshold value, computer object, logic objects. Also, we can tell the maximum telegram that is generated by this product and send it on the bus. In brightness measurement, you can assign the behavior of the brightness output. For example, if we put it on unchanged and periodically, so when the brightness measures its change more than 20%, it sends the data. And if the cyclical sense, for example, is on 30 minutes, so each 30 minutes it sends the brightness measurement. There is two brightness threshold value and two light brightness threshold value. So there is two tab for threshold value. They are the open loop controller. So when we, for example, activate the threshold value 1, in threshold value 1 you can tell if the brightness for outside is more than some amount, then the threshold is activated and you have the right output. Okay, so here the lux is between 1000 to 150,000 lux, but in two light brightness, because it deals with lower lights, so here you can say between 1 to 1000 lux and makes the threshold. Also, there is possibility to detect the night due to the light of the outside and provide the right output to the system. In wind measurement, the tab is like what we have in temperature and humidity in other sensors. In wind value measurement, we can activate the malfunction object, plus we can activate the output for the standard in case of the wind output, the transmission behavior of the sensor of the wind. In wind threshold value, we have 4 threshold value for wind. So if you activate each of them, then you can say, for example, if the wind value is more than 4 meters per second, what happened? Okay, so it provides you the right data point type as an output. For example, if we have the owing outside of the building and there is a very harsh wind outside, like the velocity is more than 10 meters per second, for example, then we can assign here 10 meters per second, and it sends the data to blind actuators for outside or owing actuators for outside, and then the owings are going to be placed in a safe position. So we can use it as a safety function or other things. In computer part, we have 8 computer or 8 calculation. In each calculation, you can assign between input 1 and 2 and compare it or plus and minus and provide the right output, what you need. And in logic part, you can have 16 input and provide the right logic output according to what you need. The logic gates is really simple to understand, to use, but the outcome is really useful. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope to see you again.